All right, well, we're back with the Head Angle podcast. Joining me is Matt Holmes. How you doing, Matt?
Good to be back here, man.
Hell yeah, let's do this. Tonight we've got a couple of Sydney legends with us, and I guess one thing to start off is talking about the strength of the relationship between a rider and the filmer, and I guess the evidence of that relationship becomes very clear in the finished product of the video. I mean, over the years, BMX has had tons of legendary rider-filmer combos. I guess more recently you've got Dennis Anderson and Christian Regal, and I guess people like Bob Skirbo and Edwin.
Yeah, man. Like I think that relationship between a rider and a filmer has been a massive one. We go back further. We got Eddie Roman and Matt Hoffman push the boundaries. I think the two come up together. You know what I mean? We got Parrick and Rooftop, like who blew minds. You know what I mean? And which was the one that really elevated the other one. It's an equal thing, right?
A joint venture to create absolute radness.
For sure.
I guess tonight, joining us, we've got Lewis Mills and Ben Norris. Welcome, boys.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you. Cheers for having us.
Two up-and-comers in, I guess, a dynamic duo in Aussie BMX, and particularly kind of Sydney, putting Sydney on the map.
We're trying to. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
You guys are killing it, man. At the moment, definitely the stoke is high, and everyone's pumped on what you guys are doing, which is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know, I guess to get things rolling, how long have you guys known each other? Where do you guys meet? How long have you guys been riding? All that kind of good stuff.
Well, I'm trying to think where we met. We go back to primary school, so me and Benny used to hang out a little bit. We didn't hang out too much because he's a year below, but I don't know, all the boys from our suburb, we always just used to hang out after school. We used to ride to school. We'd always be checking out each other's bikes and stuff like that. We'd just always be around each other, and I don't know, we've just been hanging out ever since. But we started to get a good relationship when we all got back into riding, which was about
year 7, 2012.
Yeah, something like that. And
start of high school sort of.
Yeah, start of high school.
Yeah.
Got out of our other trends, and then we got back into BMX, and then we just started really getting close and starting projects, evolving, stuff like that. So yeah.
What kind of stuff were you into before riding?
Well, I was into skating for a little bit, but at the start I was into riding. Rode with my brothers, a little bit like that. And then I was into skating. And then one day the boys called me and said, come build at the oval. The local oval, the Terry Hills half pipe.
Oh, right.
We used to build on the oval. Yeah. We used to build at the oval.
All those things years ago.
Yeah. My brother used to build there too.
Yeah, that was how we all started riding together. We all just went to the oval and rode together. That's how I pretty much became friends with Louis.
Yeah. And we'd always just get the jumps knocked down. But yeah, that's pretty much where we started.
Kind of rad to have a local meeting spot, I guess. And then
every
you guys
day
were at the
after
same
school.
high school as well?
No, we didn't go to the same high school. I went to a Christian private school that was just across the road, and then you went to Davo.
Yeah.
Davidson in Belrose.
Yeah. 10 minutes away.
Okay.
But we always used to hang out with each other after school.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just
Every day at the jumps.
Yeah, just the thing, just at the jumps, and then we just ride street or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just started from there, really.
Man, Northern Beaches of Sydney isn't, I guess, known for BMX. It's known for what? Surf, football, mountain biking, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
so
that.
How did BMX fall into place?
I don't really know.
I guess your older brothers and some of our other friends' older brothers all rode.
We're into it and pass it down onto us.
There were jumps at the oval before we started riding there too. So it was
it was
once
this weird
their
tradition.
brothers
doing
stopped doing it, then I was all right, now it's our turn to build jumps there.
Yeah,
I think a lot can be said about cooler, older people that they're not that much, a couple years older, but you're dude, that's that kid from school and he's jumping.
Yeah.
And he's that's fucking rad. I want to do that. I had a similar experience with a kid from school who rode, and then my older brother was only 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
He got a bike before me, and then it was on. I'm I want to be like my brother, who's trying to be like his mate.
Yeah.
Whoever his name is,
Yeah, it was definitely that. It was watching the older brothers do it, and then
I hear a rumor your dad rode.
Oh, my dad did ride, but he just had like a red line. I remember, he always talks how he has a red line, but I don't think he got really into the freestyle thing, but he'd always say, yeah, I got a red line and stuff like that. But it was mainly my older brother, Wes, that was into riding. And also my other brother, Callum. We rode together, and it was like this little competitive thing. We'd always push each other. He'd always say he had more tricks, and I'd always say I'd have more style and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know, it was such a family thing to do. Yeah. It was just always competitive, and it was just, I don't know, it was pretty cool.
Some brothers that pushed each other pretty hard, definitely, in the history of sports, you know what I mean? In surfing, there's the Irons brothers, of course.
I remember this funny story. I was into scootering for a little bit when I was in primary school.
What is this?
Yeah. Nah, I can't.
The Lufos comes out.
Yeah, I came home and
cut that shit out, man.
I told my brother I landed a backflip. Damn. They said, we don't care, shut up. Just
doesn't count.
Get the fuck off the scooter. So that was like
your brothers.
It was cool because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be riding a bike. I'd probably still be riding a scooter.
Yeah, I remember we thought you were going to stop riding. Like, you used to go to skate contests still. Like, when we started riding, we're like, oh, Louis is going to stop. Like, he's going back to skating.
It's that good little push. Get me in line.
I mean, it's like that. I mean, you're a kid. You've got all these influences, you know, man. It's like having a paintbrush or a camera or a spray can, you know what I mean? Like, which one am I going to use? I'm going to use a scooter, I'm going to use a skateboard, I'm going to use a BMX. You know, one of them is going to fit your place when you decide you feel comfortable with it. Yeah. That's all good.
That's true. Cool. Like, I remember, because we rode scooters for like a year, and then we rode like the longboards and stuff for a year, and then we started riding BMX, and we're like, oh, what are we going to do next? Like, but then we just stuck with
we just stuck with BMX. I don't know, we were just always super stoked on it. I remember when we like discovered like the come up, and the come up was just everything to us for some reason. Like, we
always wanted to
just
get
like
on it.
Always talking about the video that dropped that day. Just like I don't know, we were just so hooked on it when we got into it, and like we'd always be talking about what parts we're gonna buy.
Yeah,
blah blah blah. It was just
spending hours on the website.
Yeah, it was just sick. I used to just love that stuff.
Frothing.
Yeah, we just used to love it. It was sick.
Yeah, you got to get your stoke, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how old do you reckon you guys were when you kind of realized that was what you really wanted to do, and you sort of started moving past that initial little kid sort of phase, and then going to like, okay, we're going to start traveling and seeking places to ride and stuff? How old do you reckon you were?
Probably when I got on Volume and Demolition, and we actually had like a purpose to do something. It was like when you get like my initial reaction to getting on something is like, all right, we got to film a welcome edit. And then it sort of came to that thing, and I was like, all right, I'm doing it with Ben, and we're just going to keep this going and evolve into more and more opportunities. But I think it was probably around about then I was like, oh shit, I'm sponsored, you know what I mean? It's like,
better step up.
It was just like this crazy moment. Now that I think about it, it's just like, it's just nothing. But I think it was about then.
And had you been sort of dabbling in film stuff before then? Like, I mean, how old were you when you started picking up the camera, man?
When I was about 12, I realized I wanted to get a GoPro. And that was like the same age.
So annoying, man. I'm going to start filming at 12.
That was the same age we started like riding at the jumps together. And I remember I wanted to get a GoPro, but I remember some of my friends being like, oh, well, what are you going to film? And I was like, oh, I just want to film us riding bikes. And they were like, oh, whatever. But like, definitely glad I got that. And then I guess Louis I remember you had a DSLR camera.
I had a DSLR with a fisheye for skating, and then once I finished all that, I was just like, we were filming for these little group videos, and I was just like, just use this. And then if we didn't have that, our videos would be.
I remember some of those Northern Beaches edits.
We used to send them to you guys.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
And we'd always be like, holy shit.
They emailed back.
We're on 2020. It was sick. We used to love that.
I knew this. I was searching for it on the site the other night. The site's still sitting there doing nothing, but I'm searching for it going, I swear I posted these videos on the site. Like, what the hell's going on?
We were just so like in love with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just sick that time.
I mean, it was amazing for me seeing some Northern Beaches crew riding street, because it just didn't fit with that zone, because you guys got trails up there.
Yeah.
You guys had an amazing vert ramp up there. Like the Monavale vert ramp was, you know, a bit of a magnet for some. Well, Matt Fairburn became quite an amazing rider from
tons of smaller concrete parks too.
Yeah, I guess like the way we got into doing more streets, because we didn't have a skate park there. The half pipe was knocked down. Our jumps were always getting demolished.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, oh, fuck this. Let's just ride around the schools. We just started chucking on pegs. And then we didn't really want to ride or drive because we didn't have licenses to a skate park. So we just hung around the suburb just all day, all weekend, just riding the same spots. But we just never got tired of it. It was just, I think that's the only way we really got into street. Cause
Well, I remember after it was like council cleanup and we built the foam pit. We got all these mattresses, cut up all the mattresses, put all the foam in like probably like a meter deep hole or something, and it was outside. Louis backflipped into it on a tiny bike, but like a week later, someone burnt it down. Yeah.
Was it in the bush somewhere? Like
it was just on the oval.
It's back at the oval.
Yeah, foam pit, and then the next week was burnt. We're like, all right, we're not doing this again. We're running street. So that was it.
I guess you guys being like Terry Hills, people who don't know Sydney's geography, Terry Hills sort of feels like the end of the earth. It's sort of out there.
Yeah.
So the fact that you, I guess, a little bit isolated and you had local schools and like, so it was kind of cool. You just sort of stuck to your zone.
Yeah.
And I guess that's sort of bred that progression and that sort of the style you guys have now taken on as, you know, grown-ups, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
You kind of maybe owe that to the fact that you had your schools, you had your spots, and like you weren't influenced by a million skate parks at your doorstep. It was kind of
that's true.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
That's
and all the schools had just like little setups, so it's like perfect for like us to learn street on. Because I imagine now if I started riding street and I had all these big setups, I just wouldn't want to do it. I couldn't lift my bike. I couldn't do anything like that. So it was just, I don't know, it just all worked out. It was just, now I think about it, it was pretty perfect. I guess it was just just the hype.
Yeah, it was kind of good, I guess, that we were isolated. Like we used to complain about it all the time, but
of course,
since we just rode because we didn't really have much else.
To do.
Yeah.
So
it's much easier to get around the BMX and skate. You know what I mean? And if you are in a place like Terry Hills that hasn't got footpaths everywhere, like you're gonna have to get somewhere. You know what I mean? Exactly. And the BMX is your freedom.
Yeah, and all the roads rough, so you can't really skate it. So it was just BMX was just a thing for it, I guess.
Yep.
So
transport as well, I guess, like riding around, like, you know, there's is probably one bus out there.
Like one bus a day that comes through.
Fuck, dude, that's rough. You know?
So
far out, dude.
It's just a spot to start.
But if you're in a scene like that, like were there crew that when you were riding you were looking up to who from that area?
Not too sure. It was just kind of like older brothers, and
I don't know. It was just like. I honestly think it was just web videos.
Yeah.
It was just web videos that we just discovered, and
that kept us hyped.
That just kept us hyped, and I'm trying to think I looked up to Danger a little bit. I had but there wasn't a massive presence of Danger on like with video parts and stuff like that. So it was just like we were just hungry little kids wanting more content. So we would just go on to the come up and stuff like that. Ride BMX, dig. I don't know. We just lived for it.
The world had changed. I mean. When I was that age, I was having to wait 3 months for a magazine to turn up. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you waited 3 months. Like where you're waiting, like when's that edit drop?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's going to be in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The world had changed.
Yeah.
Shit, I got to wait till 3 p.m. to drop. You kidding me?
Yeah, because like every day just felt like Christmas. There was just always new videos, and I was just like, oh.
And we all send them into the group chat. And there was that. I remember that song trail. What was it? The boosted off that lip song. Well,
when Deadline came out, John was telling me what minute to watch.
Yeah.
Colin Varanyak doing a hanger whip. It was just we were into it.
Do you think that kind of era, you know, like web clips being dropped on multiple websites and just media being so digestible and just being at your fingertips anytime, if what you saw it, could you do that? You know what I mean? Like if you'd watched it, could you go and do that? Does that link in?
Like when I would watch videos and stuff like that, I'd watch it and I wanted to go try stuff like that. But I remember watching a how to, and it was a how to Smith, and this is when I first started riding. And I saw him doing a Smith, and I was like, "That's easy. I could make this. I could do it." And it just evolved from there. I was just so set on like I was just watching these videos and we're learning them. And we're doing it, and it just, I don't know. It was just so motivating. I don't know how to explain it. It was just sick.
I remember like you'd watch a web video, you'd see it has a certain trick, then you'd Google how to bar spin or whatever. You'd just watch like an Adam
You guys live
LZ
in the how-to age. We didn't have YouTube tutorials or how to.
Dude, no, there was. Like, I remember ripping all the pages out of magazines as a kid. Only BMX Plus, because that makes sucked, kind of. I can say that. But like, I would keep all the how-tos and stick it in this wacky folder, and I've still got it, dude. Like, you know, and
that's crazy.
It's just got, here's all these how-tos of all these tricks. You know what I mean? And that was before the video age. It's just a different era.
I didn't read them. I just looked at the photos.
Well, they were just photos.
So I never learned anything.
They were sequences, and that's it. I wasn't going to read them. Pictures worth 1,000 words.
Just analyzing each picture.
And if it's 29.97 frames a second, I guess that's how many thousand words a freaking minute? I don't know. So you guys are intelligent. This is good.
I guess like your timing. I mean, you were probably just a bit too young. You missed out on. There was a pretty heavy, thriving Northern Beaches sort of scene. Probably 2006 and 7, 8 maybe. So you know your Brendan Joneses, Seaton Spratts. You had a whole crew of Pooley. A couple other dudes. I mean, G obviously, like kind of dudes who are about my age, or a little bit older, and you guys, by the time you started riding, they kind of had probably moved away from the area or slowed down their riding, and you guys didn't have any local crew that were like, you weren't going down the oval to the ramp and seeing dudes riding. You were just like relying on the web stuff, which is, I mean, I guess it's lucky that was there. You know, your timing kind of fit perfectly. I guess so. You kind of, you're like, there's no riders, but we have the come up, and you can at your fingertips you've got all this sick riding, and you're drawing influence from that, which is fucking rad.
Those riders are amazing. Like, I've only just got like hyped on the original Northern Beaches riders because I'm just discovering now just through word of mouth and talking to the older guys that were in that scene, like Seaton. Seen Seaton ride, and it is honestly unbelievable.
He's better than he was.
I think he's better now than he's ever been.
Like, what, 10 years
I
off?
remember seeing him one time at Monster when I was, I don't know, a couple years ago. And I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like him at 5 Doc, like his Instagram posts these days are just like...
At 6 a.m.
It's
he
insane.
rides at insane hours.
By himself or with his son Phil. He's like,
It's just...
Have you heard of Matt Fairbairn? He used to ride Monavale half
I would know his face and his bike and stuff like
He
that.
used to ride Monavale. He would drive down from Newcastle. He moved up to Newcastle to go to uni. He's a vert rider. He ended up placing. He was riding with Tabron a lot.
Really?
He'd be placing X Games.
Damn.
You know, he was killing it. Like triple
The
bar spins and vert.
The Monavale scene, I remember going there when I was younger, watching my brother's mates and all them ride, and the scene there was sick. Like they'd always be building wall rides. I remember seeing ads in the mag, and it'll be at Mona. I'd be like, no way, it's Monavale. Like I'd take it out, like and like Nathan Tyres.
Spono.
Dude, Spono rips. And him at the old bowl, I don't think anyone could ride it like him.
No.
I
haven't been to the new Monavale, but that old one the old one was
not worth going
beautiful. I used to love that.
Not worth going to.
Nah, it's not worth
You guys have got some good clips on it.
I've seen some moves, dude.
If the old Mona, you can't top the old Mona. We used to go there all the time when we started riding, and it was just...
I think I helped dig that fly out.
Really?
That fly, I reckon, has been dug out maybe 25 times. It was just a spot. I love that thing. Yeah.
I guess moving on from your immediate local area, getting out and seeing a bit more of Sydney, seeing a bit more of the world and stuff. I was actually flicking through some of your edits and stuff last night, trying to prepare myself, get some knowledge on you dudes. But you had, I guess, your 2014 edit and that you guys put together. And even though that's only 4 years ago, you look a lot smaller. You look like you obviously you've hit puberty. You're an adult now, but you look like a kid in that. And I swear to God, the clips of you at Monster in that thing, I was like, I remembered seeing you riding Monster, and I didn't realize it was you. And if I look at that memory, it doesn't look like you because you're a little kid. And I remember, I can't remember who I was speaking to. I went because I basically avoided Monster unless it was raining for 3 weeks. And basically, I went there one night and I was just like, I came to work the next day. I was chatting to someone in the shop and I was like, there was this kid ripping, like just doing the gnarliest street stuff. Like, was that? And I can't remember who it was, but like, was that Lewis Mills? I'm like, I don't know, man. Could have been. Who the fuck's Lewis Mills?
Monster was my forte. I used to love that place.
But then I watched these clips here in that edit. I was like, that's the guy. That was that kid. And it's all sort of come together, and I'm just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. I used to go to Monsters every Tuesday, and that was just like the progression session. You'd put your shin pads on, get your knee pads on, and you just go ham. And it was just like,
Yeah, Monster.
and
The same playlist every night.
yeah, I used to put my phone on. I used to get so sick of it. But even Monster Camp, Ben and I would go on Monster Camp.
You guys did that.
We did Monster Camp. I think I did it maybe twice, and I seriously.
Who was your coach? Danny Camp?
No,
Davis.
no.
Danger?
No.
No.
Actually, I went. I did it once skating, and Danger was my
Yes.
Danger was my coach. But when we're doing it riding, it was Davis,
Okay.
and it was seriously like the best time.
Yeah.
Like you'd come there and you'd have so many tricks you wanted to learn, and Davis was really good, and he was teaching you everything. It was just
Like, I remember you learnt 180 bars, like, on
Yeah.
the first day.
Yeah.
We went so hard.
yeah, and like
Damn, that's sick.
after the first day, like you'd be wrecked.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't ride the next
You're not going to
day.
ease into that, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, monster.
Oh, Davis rules, man. He's,
Dad, I can't thank Davis enough. Like he really took me under his wing, and him and Chris White too. Like when we started riding street.
What's
him-
happened to Chris White?
Chris White's uni. He's a full-time uni student, but I've seen him a couple times. But when we slowly evolved into street, like Davis and Chris would pick us up in their cars, and they'd drive us around. They'd show us spots. They'd show Ben how to film.
Yeah.
Like,
rad. That's
They
cool.
drive all the way to Terry Hills to pick us up, then
No
go
joke.
out
yeah,
another.
like I can't thank
wherever.
them enough, because
Legends.
if we didn't have them, we'd have no knowledge of spots,
Yeah.
tricks, inspiration. Like I remember Chris was just so into it too, and it was just so good to be around him, because he was just always talking about, oh, this spot, film this. Did you see that video part? It was just such a sick thing to
It was like
grow up with.
a side of BMX we didn't really see before.
Yeah,
then.
he, like-
he had a different kind of knowledge of it all.
Yeah,
That's really cool to hear, because a lot was passed on to him by a group, a generation before him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's amazing to hear that that's getting passed on, and that makes me feel happy about BMX
yeah.
going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's this little crew at
I
Monavale.
was gonna say that.
There's this little crew at Monavale, local. There's like 5 of these kids, and they're sick. They're like, they remind me just of us.
Yeah.
Like they're super into like learning new tricks, all the parts, what frame they're gonna get and stuff like that. So I'd love to take them in my car and show them spots and show
That's
them
cool.
to film and stuff like that.
That's the BMX legacy.
That
we got to keep passing it on.
That's what
you know?
that's, Chris taught us everything pretty much. Chris
Yeah.
and Davis. So yeah, it'd be good to keep that going. Cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Taking younger riders under the wing is,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty
Kind of-
vital.
Yeah.
I don't know where we'd be without him. So
And this is going to kind of segue a little bit into some of your hookups, but when I was younger, Terry Burke from
Yeah.
BMX Mafia, aka
Terry, shout out to Terry.
BMX Militia back then, was the distro, and the shop was called Psychology. I don't know if you
Yeah, I
knew
know.
that,
Yeah.
And man, he used to drive us to spots. We'd go to the shop and he'd drive us like St. Ives and like places with lights and stuff like that. And like it was just, he's definitely done a lot for a lot of riders,
Yeah.
which is shout out to Terry for sure.
Yeah, shout out to
I
Tez.
think he's got a happy 50th birthday coming up soon, which is
Yeah.
fucking rad.
Terry,
Been
happy
killing
birthday,
it.
brother.
Yeah, killing it.
Cheers,
yeah.
Terry.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
cheers, Terry.
Terry.
That's another person I wouldn't be anywhere without. Trust me. Oh my gosh.
That's true.
The amount of times Terry has helped me out or done something, like he's just the man. He always holds it down. He was always giving me discounts when I came into the shop. Blah blah blah. He was just looked out for all of us.
And how did the kind of volume demo hookup thing sort of happen, and how old were you when that happened?
I remember it was after my 2014 edit, the one that you were watching with the monster
Yeah.
footage.
The child.
Yeah, the child me. I remember going to the shop about, I don't know, maybe a month later to get my bike serviced, maybe get something else on it. And he was just like, oh, do you want to ride for Volume Demolition? And I was like, no way. This is happening right now. And I was just like, yeah, of course. And I remember asking like, so is it cool if I like do an Instagram post? Like, I was just,
I remember. Oh, sorry, cut you off.
No, you
but
go.
I remember we saw a photo of you. Like it was after school. We saw a photo of you on BMX Mafia. Say you were now riding for Volume Demolition.
Yeah, I
we were
remember
like,
this.
oh my god.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think I was 16. I'd
Yeah.
have to be 16. It was 2015. Yeah, 16.
Yeah,
I
right.
was 16. Yeah.
He was like, "Fuck yeah, look out, ladies, love a ride."
Yeah, I was like, all right, this is official. Look at my Instagram now.
Yeah.
I'm sponsored.
Check me,
Yeah. I was so hyped. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah,
So,
that's-
so what does sponsorship involve back then? Like
I was just
discount or stuff? Or you got a free
no,
frame? Or?
dude. Terry hooked it up. He
Sweet,
gave me
that's good to hear.
like he'd give me a full
good.
bike, and I remember a week later I changed to a front load stem. He gave me a top load,
Sweet.
but I put on like a Division 1 that was around the house because I didn't want to. It was a couple of weeks I was riding for. I'm not gonna get another thing.
That's it.
And as soon as I went to the shop, he was just like, he just changed it for me. And I was just like, damn, this guy is amazing. Yeah. And like anything I'd ask, he just wouldn't hesitate to give me. So
Yep.
yeah, Terry's a man.
yeah. I guess I don't know. Moving back into you guys as like a duo, like obviously watching your edit stuff, you've got a pretty rad thing going. Like, bit of,
Thank
you know,
you.
obviously chemistry's there, and you're making really cool shit.
Thank you.
I guess I mean a lot of that stems from just your relationship as being friends for so long.
Yeah.
I guess through that, I mean, you've obviously started hanging out with more riders, and I guess you know you did. I mean, you've gone on to film other riders, obviously, and you know you've ridden for other filmers, obviously. But it's really cool that you've brought people together. For example, I guess when you were on Demolition Volume, yeah, that rad edit with Jacman and Boyd,
Yeah.
and I feel like. I don't know, the song choice and just the mood, it just looked like you guys having a fucking rad time.
That was
It looked like you
serious.
guys just having a really fun
It was
little,
such
you know,
a
just
sick
epic
trip.
time.
Yeah. I was like, it was the first time I met the guys too.
Yeah.
And I was still in that phase where I was just like amazed by everything that was happening. Like, oh my God, I'm going on a trip. Even though like it was at home. I was staying at my house. I was
weren't going
driving
anywhere.
around, but I was just so hyped. And
Yeah.
those boys are seriously the best guys ever. It was just non-stop laughs. And they were both like a lot better than me. And it was just such a good push to get better. And it was just,
I don't know, man. You were like, it looked pretty level.
Nah,
Where I
no,
was
they were
sitting,
they
you
were
know?
killing it. They were killing it. Especially Boyd at that time was like a god.
I remember, yeah, he like just come back from England and we'll like ask him all these questions.
Yeah,
like,
he was a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've traveled. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. We're
What's
just
it like,
this
boys?
guy's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's the deal, Ben? Like music choice for an edit.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? I mean, over the years, I sometimes I can never work it out in my head. Did I like that edit or that video part or the old VHS tape part?
Yeah.
Did I like it because the writing was good, or did the music make it better, or did the writing make the music better? Do I only like the song because the writing was good, or
Yeah, that's interesting because a lot of the time I'll watch an edit, sometimes I'll just click off it because I didn't like the song kind of thing. I remember for the Volume Demolition edit, we wanted to use a Tame Impala song because it was Australian and we were listening to Tame Impala all the time.
gotcha?
Thought that was sick. And then I guess for songs, I just like try find something fun, I guess, like something I'm stoked on.
Yeah.
Want everyone else to be stoked on it. And I watch a lot of skate videos, like try get songs from there, like
Ben's got he's got such a good playlist. Every time I'm in the car with him, he would just play something and I'd be like, dude, where'd you find this? And then sometimes he'd just be like, I just found it. And then
You
other
gotta be
times he'd be like,
listening all
found
the
it on an
time.
edit.
Yep.
I'm like, fuck, this is
You got to be
insane.
listening all the time, and it's almost
Yeah.
like those Drain kids do. It's like this is like you've got to be thinking all the time. There's a spot there. We found a spot. Who could write it? But then if there's a song you hear, could I put that in an edit?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a constant cataloging of all this stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, you'll hear stuff everywhere and like try get the Shazam out real quick.
Yeah,
and
big
like,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it loud enough for my phone?
I'm always like,
Yeah.
it's still booting up and the song stops.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
And definitely like fitting like a specific song for a type of rider. Like Jacman's writing and your choice of music for him is just like, it fits so well. It's like a groovy sort of
Yeah.
alti vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess it helps like talking to the writer, finding out what kind of music they're into so that they're stoked on it. Try to find something that kind of fits with their personality, I guess, like what they're into. and then just try to reflect that through how you edit it, I guess. But
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, cool.
I mean, yeah, you definitely song choice on pretty much all you guys' stuff has been pretty spot on. And I mean, I'm not really a music guru, but I'm just like, that was rad because that felt cool because the song really worked.
Cheers.
And it is mostly your choice. Are you bringing stuff to the table as well, man? You're like, hey, dude,
Lewis
this song.
brings a lot.
Well, I'm definitely like in terms of I'm sort of a annoying control freak because it's just like I just want to be stoked on my writing because I'm not really that stoked. When I film a clip, I'll be like, I don't really like it.
Every
'cause
clip.
pretty much every
every
clip I
clip.
won't really like.
No, there's some.
But like, yeah, I'll be like to him, I'm really feeling this, and like I'll come to his house all the time, and we'll just like work together and stuff like that. Because I'll be telling him, I don't really like that there. Nah, let's change the song. I'm actually have a terrible habit of changing songs.
That's true. Like, I remember sometimes you'd pick some whack songs and I'd just put it in and I'll be like, oh, he'll change his mind in a month, so it doesn't matter.
I'll just leave this bucket of shit tune in there.
And like I'll be listening to the songs now that I told him to put in the edits. I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? Like poor Ben like has to go all through this shit.
No, but it takes a bit of the pressure off, I guess, if the writer has a song that they want, and if I'm into it, like, because finding a song is a long kind of process. Like, it takes a while sometimes to find something you're stoked on. But
I guess, sorry.
No, it's all good, man. Go ahead.
So, I guess another, relating to all that song choice stuff, you pick this epic song that works, you're both stoked on.
Yeah.
And then maybe you might get a roadblock it might get flagged for copyright.
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah, we've had that,
or something.
yeah.
I mean, that's gotta suck.
I
Spanner
don't
in the
know
works.
I don't know if we've finished an edit and we've realized it's copyrighted.
I remember we did a skate park video with Alex Hyman. He had a
I've seen
Kendrick
that.
Lamar song.
Oh, yeah,
and that got copyrighted.
Yeah, copyrighted, that would have been.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed. I like the Kendrick song.
So what track did you drop instead?
It was a Joey Badass?
Yeah, Joey Badass. We originally had Levitate in, but then we ended up using Joey Badass song. Can't quite remember what the title was, but
Money Trees?
maybe.
I don't know, one of them.
But wasn't as stoked as the Kendrick song. But I just had to, because we planned to release the video at a certain date, and then when we uploaded it, the song was copyrighted, and so I had to quickly find another song to put in and get it out, I guess.
I've heard a rumor you might have chopped some songs up to get past copyright.
We've tried. But it's pretty hard. Sometimes you try chop it up, but then it just ends up sounding whack and not
exactly.
like the original anymore.
You always chop them up, but I never notice.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I had a friend talking to me going, well, just get a friend to DJ and play under 30 seconds of a track and just mix everything together and you'd get away with everything.
I'm pretty sure that's what they did with Chad Curley's Market Part.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think they had copyright issues with that song because it's a huge fucking song.
Yeah.
So they had some remix or something like that.
It's been so tough in Australia, the old 2020 DVDs, the hindsight ones, you know, and then the ones we did with Troy, That's What's Up and every day Saturday. It's like, holy crap, the budget for music is going to be way more than the budget for filming it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do you pull this off in BMX? My take was always approach the artist first, not the record company. Maybe go see him at a gig, and then go, hey man, love that track. Hey, I'm making this DVD. It's BMX. It's something big, but it's legit. But can we use music? And slid through a lot of loopholes like that. The record company would freak out, and then the band would talk to the record company and slide us through. I mean, I guess with that, I always wanted to have Australian music, but nowadays, it's. It'd be a tough one, man. If you're going to pump out a lot of edits, how are you going to have music from all?
And I'm sure there'd be more legal ramifications with DVD rather than just a web edit or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you definitely have to go through some more.
Well, they just yell at you and tell you to take it off sale, but you'd be like, it's off sale anyway. It's all good. Whatever.
It's all sold out.
But I mean, there's been some big movies over the years in BMX that were pulled off. Like there was, what was the ride video? Thunder.
Yes.
So I think they had Rolling Stones in it.
Oh no way!
And it was
I pulled it off.
it's an old VHS thing.
They also had the Beatles, dude.
They had Beatles and Rolling Stones, probably the two bands you cannot have, right? And it was an epic. I've got a copy of it, but it was
There's
cool.
one on the
original
wall
track.
right there.
There is, yes.
Yeah.
And
VHS
it's an
Thunder.
amazing vid.
Probably
right?
my
It's-
favorite video
from that
ever.
era. It's one of the best, you know. And it was pulled, like
Yeah.
massive
Man.
legal action. So
You can watch it now.
Can you get sued for that stuff?
they were,
They were sued.
yeah. That was Ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Ride.
I mean,
How much?
I mean, Ride. Oh, who knows,
Maybe.
man? But I think they'd been bought by big
Transworld. It was
Yeah, I
when
mean, yeah, it was
Transworld,
Transworld by
yeah.
then,
that's
right?
it.
So
Yeah.
They would have been struck for that one.
that's it. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, you've got your Vans vids, you've got all your big player vids. I guess they are paying royalties to legal,
Yeah.
to artists, which I guess should be done.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Dennis Emerson's new Caps Lock video, Vish did that.
The soundtrack.
He did the soundtrack.
Okay.
He worked it himself. Like,
That's a good way to do it.
yeah,
So yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
He did a bunch for the
Yeah.
new Cult
Yeah.
DVD as well.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of the
yeah.
talent.
That'd be sick to be able to make your own
Be
music.
so hard.
Yeah.
Or
So
work with some
hard.
musicians to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the crazy way to do it.
That's we just trying to find some gems that are untouched.
Like we used the Jimi Hendrix song for your
Yeah,
edit.
I found I got a gift for my 18th. It's just this old Jimmy cassette, and I had some gems on it, and I was listening to one of them, and I had like 10 Shazams, and I had like 1,000 views on YouTube, and I was like, this is it, we got to use one of these, and it just worked out.
Yeah.
So we're just trying
And,
to
like-
find tracks like that so we
it.
don't get in trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
and
So-
like
yeah.
every other Jimmy song's like copyrighted. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But then dudes drop like, there's that Wu-Tang Hendrix mix, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's not a legal thing, but it's
Yeah.
a rad thing.
Yeah.
So
It happens, man.
Mm.
So music's a big influence then for both you
Definitely.
guys
yeah.
outside
definitely.
of BMX. Where else are you pulling from, or where else are you expressing in it outside of BMX and music?
Not too sure, really. Like, I guess just kind of the writing that we're into it at that time, the people that were into, like, I remember you wanted to do flip whips because you were like Dennis did them.
The truth is coming out, man. The truth is
And,
coming
like,
out.
It happens.
And we
You
were
had a
just
foam pit at a young age. Didn't you?
Send him into Monster. All right, we're going to Red Hill. We're doing this.
yeah.
Jason Watts had every trick in the game under his belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
I remember
it
watching old
happens.
videos of Jason. He has so many tricks. It's ridiculous. But
And that's same with the filming too. Like I remember when like Stevie and Brandon's OSS video came out, we were like, John Hicks is the shit. Like
yeah, we just
need to
pull
make
from
videos
everything.
like him.
We just pull from everything. Even Francis, Ben would like you'd like the Francis way of filming.
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
Up close. I like the way Garrett does tricks, what spots he picks. Just I don't know. We just always pull from people, and now we're at that time and age that we can now evolve it into our own.
Start expressing your own way.
Yeah.
I think that's part of growing up, like you hold people in this high esteem, you make idols out of people and what they do,
Yeah.
but you're picking from so many sources.
Yeah.
And eventually you go,
Yeah.
now I'm me,
Yeah.
now we're making our stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely at that time where we want to branch out, do more videos, just me and him, and just
Yeah.
not too sure. Just we're finally on that path of all right, we found each other.
Yeah.
Found what we're doing.
Yeah.
We've got our
Together at last.
style. Yeah.
Ben, have you got like an all-time favorite film? I mean, even outside of BMX or I mean,
Well, I guess kind of like what I was saying before, Francis was probably like the biggest influence on my filming. His videos were something like the first that I saw. Like I remember like a Billy Perry video, like Devin Smiley 2013. And his videos were
You
kind
got
of
him
like...
locked down.
Yeah. And his videos were like hot for us at that time because they were like the new street guys.
Yeah, they were who we were looking up to, like especially Devin. Like
Yeah.
we'd always talk about Devin Smiley in 2015. He put out maybe 4 or 5 edits, and they were all banger. And it was all Francis that was filming it. And it's like something that we'd want to do. Like one year, just bang out 5
Yeah.
great edits and just like get that. Everyone knows our relationship.
Yeah.
Like this is the team.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you have got this tight team going on, this tight relationship. When are you guys? Have you traveled overseas together?
Not
No,
yet.
You haven't yet?
No, not yet.
Actually.
I've only had the opportunity to like travel this year.
Yeah.
Like before I did, I don't know, a couple trips to America just to
Yep.
like see if it was gonna go anywhere.
Yep.
And meet some people. But
You got to do that from Australia.
yeah,
you know?
and like this,
you go straight to the States,
Yeah,
right?
this was the first year I was like able to go somewhere like to a contest.
Hastings, yeah?
Yeah, Hastings, like a filming trip for Fiend, stuff like that. But I always talk to him. Like, we want to plan trips like at the end of this year, next year, just
But
Europe,
definitely.
America, just like if we can get stuff done here while we're driving out 40 minutes to one spot, imagine what we're gonna be doing.
You cross
we're-
borders in Europe
Yeah.
in 40-minute drives?
No, I'm saying here. I'm saying here.
No, I'm saying in
But,
Europe
yeah.
you'll cross borders.
Yeah, no, but
you
if
know?
we were just in one amazing city, like Barcelona,
Yeah.
or I don't know, or somewhere around London, like
Just anywhere, like
yeah, we could just be so much more productive. But it's expensive, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's expensive, and
that's, I guess, the main reason we
yeah,
haven't.
that's the main reason. And you need to free up time to get good, and time you gotta, you're avoiding jobs, getting paid.
For
So
sure.
It's just like this sacrifice you have to make to hopefully.
It's rolling the dice, isn't it?
Yeah, it honestly is. So
Yep. For both of you, I mean, for filming.
yeah, definitely.
But, I mean, your resume is online.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And there are opportunities in the industry, and the same for you as writing.
Yeah,
You got to roll the dice and get out there.
yeah,
I mean, on that, like, you went to Battle of Hastings.
yeah. Yeah.
Was that an invite? Or?
Yeah, that was so. It's like the team thing, and that
Yeah.
was just picked for John Godwin's team,
It's pretty nuts.
and it was like the most insane thing I've ever been to. Like that. That was probably my second real contest. The first one was advanced at the start of this year.
Yeah.
But this one was just like all the pros were there. I just felt like that little kid sparking back again, like, oh, there's
man.
Chase Hawk, there's blah, blah, blah. But that was just like, I'd definitely go again next year, even if I wasn't invited.
It looks like a pressure cooker of just like
It's sick.
Everything
what
is
is
just
going to
epic.
blow up.
It's just, everyone's banging on the doors.
Yeah.
It just makes you go crazy.
They're
Just-
doing Nora Cup there now as well as
Yeah,
part of it.
yeah.
So it's
Really?
just
yeah, I like
fucking-
experienced everything in
Dude.
that whole 3 or 4 days, and
best
just like
best weekend of your life.
yeah,
you know?
like got a picture with Van Homan, David Sato,
Oh.
Dennis. But yeah, it was a dream come true.
You were
really.
rocking it in your Sydney Swans jersey.
Yeah,
That's
well,
fucking
yeah.
sick.
Well,
dude.
it was actually funny because I didn't know what the deal was. The format of the whole comp was pretty like unknown to me. Like I didn't know what was going on. It was my first year, and I didn't know I was actually on finals that day. So I was just like, I'll just chuck on my Sydney Swans jersey. I'll be riding around, I'll be hanging out, and then I was like, oh shit, we're in finals. And I was like, I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to run back to the hotel. I was just like, oh, I'll rock it,
So
whatever.
you got to represent the homeland.
But
Plus,
it's-
your brother plays
yeah.
for the Swans?
Yeah,
is that
Callum
right?
plays for the Sydney Swans.
Right.
So
It's amazing.
yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. He loved it. The whole family loved it. So
I mean,
Man.
that's crazy. Like, in my growing up, football and skateboarding and riding was so far divided.
oh yeah, it's completely
you know what I mean?
yeah, opposite.
There's such division, but
Yeah.
it sounds like you're growing up and your family have supported
Yeah,
all your brothers.
yeah, definitely. And I have a
Completely in what
sister
you do.
too. Like we all
Okay.
have such different career paths. Like Charlotte would be horse riding, Wes would be motocross riding, Callum would play rugby, AFL, and I'd just be doing my own little thing. It was just such a sick little environment to grow up with. But yeah, so.
Now your older brothers, now that they don't ride but they used to, are they stoked at what you're kind
No,
of doing
they were
now?
stoked.
Like,
It
is
was
that awesome? Like,
When I started riding and I chucked on pegs, they're like, what are you doing? Like, you're just going to ruin your bike. Why are you riding street? Oh,
we're from
street.
the Northern
Ugh."
Beaches. We ride trails.
Trails.
Yeah, and they're like, why you ride trails? And I was like, I did ride trails, but they always knock them down. I was like pretty embarrassed for like a couple of years when I was riding street. I wouldn't really like, bring it
Oh,
up. or whatever, but-
I've ridden Red Hill with you. You can rip the fuck out of some trails.
No.
Dude,
No, Red Hill's fun. Red Hill's fun.
Dude.
I'm
It was
still
like a month
scared.
ago I rode there with you, dude. It was fucking awesome.
Red Hill is so sick. They've been like always upgrading him and working on him now. Like it's just sick. Red Hill's awesome.
The crew at the moment is
It's
amazing.
really good.
Yeah.
Probably the best it's been in a while.
Dude, yeah.
It's probably 20 years of history at that place.
Yeah, well, I
At
started
least.
riding there in 2004. 4 or 5.
We trails out when I moved to Sydney in 2000.
Yeah.
Now
Wow.
we're already established.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. When I started,
It's a spot. It's such a
Yeah.
good place.
Super inclusive too. Like there's no like
Yeah.
politics. Like
Yeah.
BMX
Yeah.
kids, mountain bike kids.
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah.
got
No
a bad
one really cares,
vibe. No
yeah.
one's had ownership. It hasn't ever
Yeah,
been
that's
theirs. and I
true.
think it's always been sort of handed along.
Wasn't there one owner? I forget his name, and he's
I don't know.
the opposite of inclusive.
Oh,
pretty much.
right.
I can't remember. Probably shouldn't even talk about it anyway.
They aren't around anymore, though, are they?
Yeah, true.
No.
Yeah.
Have you smashed some cameras up there? at
Oh
all?
yeah. Well,
That's right. That clip.
yeah. Well, it was like in July probably. We were filming this clip at like in Bondi. There was this down rail, maybe like it was alloy, probably like 20 meters long kind of thing. It was just like on a slight downhill.
No,
bank.
it was pretty steep.
Yeah, like I was riding next to you on a skateboard. I was going pretty quick.
Whereabouts in Bondi?
More like towards Rose Bay.
Yeah, it was more like Rose Bay and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, yep.
We just found that spot. Ben cracked over the camera.
You were gonna like Peg's T-bog it or something.
I don't know. I was pegsing it and I was just drifting and drifting and drifting. I was like, I'll be fine. And then just a branch and I just bang. And then the bike just flipped over
Yeah.
and then just hit Ben's camera. And what did it do?
Like, I looked down and I'm like, I didn't really know what had happened first. I'm like, where's my fisheye? And then I hear in the background, I hear like, and I turn around and see my fisheye sliding face down along the concrete towards me. So I pick it up and it's got like all these white spots on it where it's like all cracked. And I was just like, fuck.
What fish was it?
It's like a Opteca fisheye. It's not too expensive, like $300, but
Destroyed.
yeah, it's like
But like
unusable.
Before that, the Red Hill clip, like all the time, I'd always hit his camera. Like it was just because I'd always want Ben to get up there close because I love the way
Where a
it
fisheye
looks.
needs to be, man.
And we also destroyed another one.
I had a spare fisheye.
He had a spare fisheye. We went to Melbourne for a little filming trip. And it was actually my fault. I didn't tell him what I was doing. I just 180'd and I just went bonk. And I did the exact same thing. The fisheye just flipped out of the socket and just skidded on the ground, face down. And I was just like, this is not happening again. And this was maybe 2 days into our trip.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and
we're
there's
fucked.
footage of you going like, "This is the worst trip of my life." Like, yeah, it's because like the thread on the camera was all part of the thread popped out, so it wouldn't fully tighten. So I had to have it like half loose, so it just popped out.
and we're also like, we're looking at the extreme fisheyes, you know, the big ones that are,
Century optics.
yeah, we're looking at those.
$1,800, $2.5 grand.
Oh, they're like $3,000, dude. And we're just like, I'm just like, if we get this, you're not coming
Be
close to
careful.
You
me.
need a bash guard welded on, like
Yeah.
the whole rig that sits around it.
Yeah,
yeah, I
those
think
things are legit.
Yeah,
But it'd be a good investment for us. I feel like we won't need to switch up
Yep.
things for a while.
That's it.
yeah. I like the way it looks too. So.
Yeah.
So what is in the pipeline for you guys?
Well, we're pretty much just it. This is the thing, like with BMX these days. It's like there's never anything pushed upon you of what you need to do. It's all up to you. Like you can choose whether you don't want to film for a whole year and just ride at a
damn
skate
cool.
park or whatever, and then you could just do whatever you want. You can produce as much as you can. So we just want to like travel with each other, travel with other people, and just film. Like, I don't know, just have fun. But I definitely want to do a Europe trip and a America trip with Ben.
Yeah.
Just
That'd be
because
sick.
I feel like just with us over there, the hype we'll get, it's just gonna produce a
you'll kill
lot
it.
more.
Yeah.
So
We kill it.
So what's I mean, it's been a big change. I mean, 2-3 years ago, you're riding probably your own bike
yeah,
that you've put together,
yeah,
and now suddenly you're on full flow.
yeah,
You're getting the comps like Hastings.
yeah.
People know your name. Your Instagram's gone ballistic.
Nah.
So how does it feel that the whole thing's changed? Like just like
Um,
I mean, from an outside perspective, it's changed just like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think about it or anything like that. I've just always got my mind on things I want to do. Like, I don't know, even if it's just tricks at one particular setup, I'm not really thinking about, oh, I need to do this to get this, or I need to film an Instagram clip to get shared on this media site or whatever like that. It's just like, all right, I'm at the skate park, I'm feeling something out. You want to film it for me?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't really think about it, I guess. It's just
plans for the future, man. Like, are you guys gonna be traveling overseas together? Like, still filming together, but taking it to the world?
Yeah, we definitely want to start thinking about traveling. Because I don't know, we just want to go to different places and just get that new hype in riding and filming, and I get that every time I travel. So I just imagine with Ben too, we're just gonna film so much stuff. Like I was talking to him about, I don't know, maybe doing something after simple session. Sorry,
like going to Europe.
Yeah, going to Barcelona, maybe France, Germany, or whatever. I don't know. I just love to do more creative stuff, especially just with Ben. You know, because
I guess just new spots to kind of get it over. Like we're like where we ride today, and it's like, oh, I don't want to go there again.
Yeah, it's getting to a point now where we really need to spot search around Sydney now, because we're getting to these spots, and I'm having to like one up myself, because I go back to spots that I love, that I like. I know I can get tricks that are hard for me, that I really want to work towards, and like traveling will just open up a whole new window of just creativity, I guess.
I guess another thing we kind of like don't want the videos to be repetitive. Like, we don't want it to be like,
that's
oh,
something
it's
I
that
always
spot
talk
again.
about.
Like, oh, they're back at that rail.
Yeah,
like,
we're getting to a point now. It's like the look of the clip is just as important as how I did it and how he filmed it. You know what I mean? It's like so much more aesthetically pleasing, seeing such like insane architecture in the background and where you are. So I think we definitely need to branch out into more Europe stuff like that. I feel like some California footage is starting to get sort of blown out in a sense.
I think it always was. You know, it's that same light. It's that same harsh light.
Yeah, same harsh light. It's the same sort of...
it looks like Adelaide. Like
LA's
like Adelaide. Right?
Yeah, so...
And I guess that's the thing, like, whenever you see Sydney footage, you always know it's Sydney, or like you see LA footage, you know it's LA.
Yeah.
And like, just want to keep it fresh, I guess.
Yeah, so... Yeah. I think that's the plan for us. Hopefully work on like a Vans video, maybe a welcome to Vans.
Yeah, okay.
But the main focus now for myself and Ben too is the Fiend video. That's we're all working on really hard with. So
do you know when that's slated for?
I'm not too sure if I can even talk about it really, but I don't know. I'm sure I could talk about it, but I don't want to say anything.
You heard it here first.
Sure. Yeah, but it's gonna be crazy.
That's exciting. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be a good feeling to be on Fiend. I mean, it's got to be a dream.
That was definitely the top moment I've had. Like,
dude, you ride for the GOAT.
Yeah, honestly, I do.
If you ask anyone about street riding, it's like Garrett.
Yeah, it's Garrett. Yeah,
the one.
I don't think in the last maybe 5 or so years there's anyone ever being considered on his level.
Not since Little Devil days, really. I don't think.
Like honestly, like.
Van Herman.
Yeah. Since Herman, like, it's just been Garrett, really, when you think about it. So
I mean, not many people can brag that they've won that many X Games medals.
You never even talk about
but then they've still got this really kind of core sort of
street vibe.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
what to shut every spot down.
Yeah, it's just like he'll never talk about it. He won't say anything about X Games. Like he won like 8 of them. Like it's so fucking crazy.
How the hell did that your hookup even like how that come to be, dude?
I was in the States writing for Volume and Demolition, and I was going to film for Volume 3. Volume 2 or something, I don't know.
With Mike
Mastroni. And I got there, it wasn't gonna work out. I was ending up paying a lot of my own money. I was
It's the
like,
Australian way.
yeah, but I gotta put it into perspective. Like I'm just the young rider. I'm still on flow. It's not like they're gonna be flying me out there. Like I don't know what I could bring to the table at the time. But at the time, I was like, fuck this. I'm not getting treated right. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave. And then my filmer that filmed me the previous year that got me sort of on the map was Saucer Boss. And he knew Tony Ennis, the filmer with Garrett for Fiend. And I was just like, dude, get me on Fiend. I don't care how you do it. I just want to be on Fiend. Like at the time, I didn't want to be on anything else. There was nothing that was popping up. I was just like, just try and get me on. And it was about 2 months of talking to him. And then the whole team said, yeah, we can hook him up. It's not like a AM team or anything. It'd be sick because Garrett like asked the team like, what do you think of this guy? If you want him on, you know, he can be on. And then it went through, and like I'm just getting flow stuff. Yeah. But it was just like the best feeling ever. I was just like, no way, this is happening. And then
pretty prestige lineup of dudes. Like
yeah,
some heavy
definitely.
names.
Yeah,
dude.
I remember when Fiending came out, the video.
Oh yeah,
it was just like, it was insane.
Next level.
Like we'd always be talking about it, like the parts and like, and it was crazy because we didn't see any. Well, I didn't really know of Tony Ennis other than Deadline, and then when I see him with the HD, with the HMC, with the Extreme Fisheye, I was like, this is the look. Like I want to be like this. Yeah. Like it was just what they did from the start. It was just so sick. I haven't seen them do anything sort of, you know, lame or typical. It's just always been raw, street. It's just something I really like. So
they've defined street for
Yeah.
BMX.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
in such a big
Yeah,
way.
definitely. That's just Fiend. So.
When Deadline dropped, like we did a premiere for that DVD in the shop, and we just had like a bit of a sort of like in-store sort of premiere sort of party, and I just remember when that shit started. Like, and we had Newtown. We had tons of random crew. We had like bike messengers. We had like just heaps of crazy people from all over the place. Yeah. And the reactions. Yeah. When like, fuck, dude, like, and it's still to this day that video is still.
It's timeless now.
Up there, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Like, and we started. I think it was. When did that come out? 2013?
Yeah, I think it was 2013.
2013. We started writing maybe like a year before. So it was still fresh. We didn't really know, we didn't really know exactly the whole...
That's the level that you need to start at.
Yeah, like that was... we didn't know like the whole team. I didn't know the whole team. I knew Garrett and Ty.
That was like... We only really watched Garrett and Ty's part for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the whole Deadline video till like years later.
Yeah, but it was just such a amazing thing to start off like, wow, these dudes are doing this. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
I seriously watch Garrett's Deadline part probably, I'd say, at least once a month.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just that constant motivation, like the song too.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, like about that song. That song honestly made that part too.
I think that band has got a lot of music sales because of that.
Yeah.
Part.
Yeah. Like honestly, it was just like the most insane video.
So what happened to us, man? I mean, I grew up watching, VHS videos and seeing dudes do the first double tail whoop or something on vert, or Hoffman do his toe-in airs. How come I wasn't doing 25-foot airs the next year? I think something was wrong in that
I don't
era.
think anyone could top that. Like what was going on at that time.
The stuff that was in videos back then was just the absolute... I mean,
unobtainable.
Yeah, it was...
Daredevil stuff.
And I think also the fact that now with social media and the ease of watching videos and watching clips is things are a bit more of a given. Like clearly you'll see a clip and be like, that's fucked up what he did. But everyone in the world has seen it the same
You'll
day.
see it on Instagram by someone the next day.
And exactly, by the end of the week, 10 other dudes are doing it. Whereas for when we were younger, obviously you see a VHS or a DVD and by the time you've seen the footage, it was actually filmed 9 months to 2 years ago. And
that said, though, I'd rock up the comps here in Australia. We'd turn up the comps. It's a long time ago. And I remember Matt Hodgson, Little Black Bike, rocks up to a comp, and there's another guy, Ricky Hunt, and Ricky Hunt did, this trick, and then Hodgie learned it at the comp.
No way.
Yeah, you know, like people
That's
people
crazy.
can progress that quick.
Yeah.
So it probably hasn't changed, just the medium changed.
I guess, but
Yeah.
a lot can be said for if you've seen it done, therefore it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Which makes it seem like people that are, I guess, your Pied Pipers who are the innovators who haven't seen it something done and they're inventing that shit, and you're just like you know, Garrett being one
Yeah.
of
To
them.
have that
Yeah.
vision.
Like,
Yeah.
how do
Yeah,
they
it's-
decide
it's
they
hu-
can just do that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
That's
you know
what I
I reckon I
admire.
can fucking
And
you know,
to-
like-
Yeah, and being on a sorry,
I was just gonna say, just to be at that level for such, like, he's been on that level for such a long
Yeah.
time as well.
But I think I respect it so much more as when I was on a trip with him. It's just like he has so many tricks under his sleeve for every spot. It's like he just has this, he just thinks about all these crazy ideas. Well, not crazy, but just like innovative things that I would never think about. And I
It's
think that's the
reinterpreting it.
most
It's art, you know. It's being able
amazing
to
thing, yeah.
have a vision in your head and see a space
yeah.
and create.
Yeah. So I think that's probably the hardest thing is coming up with your new thing these days. You know what I mean? Because so many people just
everyone
doing
can do
great stuff.
everything.
And
It feels like
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, everyone releasing content, you want to have something fresh and
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah, that's like
so-
what I always strive for at the end of like a video when you need to get the last final clip. It's like, all right, I need to stand out somehow.
Yeah.
Like I need to have some new tricks in here or something that not many people are doing right now, just to have that lasting effect on someone that
Do
was viewing
you
it.
lose sleep with that? Do you lay
Yeah,
awake?
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely,
okay.
all the time. Because I'm just like, I get so bummed out on my ride. I'm just like, I'm doing the same old things. I need to find this setup to do this, and I'll just be like, but I'm just gonna die trying
Do
this.
you
know
work
what I
stuff
mean?
through in your head, like laying there awake, going, okay, I've got this spot, I've got this rail, I've got this
Yeah.
this spot. Do you lay awake going, I'm gonna do this to this to this on it? Do you have it worked out?
Not really. I
before you
never.
go there?
Even when I ride a spot, I'll never think about it and
Really?
like really get down to the thing. I feel like if you just keep going, it's just muscle reflex. It just happens.
Yeah, okay.
I hate overthinking things. Like,
yeah.
like I think maybe Chris White was different to me. Like Chris White would really pick apart what he needed
He's
to
like
do.
a scientist.
Yeah, he just really
he had a routine.
he had a routine.
Yeah.
He knew what he was
Yeah.
doing, and he just
Like-
did it. Like, but
He used to do like 3 circles. And
yeah,
like
he'd
a
have
hop
these funny
walk
little
or
rituals he'd
something,
do,
yeah.
But maybe that isn't as a creative way to approach it. So it is going to be more.
Yeah, I think he would. Yeah, it's just like if you're a thinker, you start brainstorming what you want to do, and then you go to the spot and you're on it. But I feel like it's much more relaxing going to the spot and just like letting the spot just make you do what
Yeah, right.
you could do.
It
on
doesn't hurt to have a pretty epic bag of tricks at your disposal. Like, you know, obviously, not many people who can do, like, you've probably got the steeziest double bar spin in BMX right now.
No, there's some
Dude.
guys doing some great ones these
Dude,
days.
like the way you throw it, it just looks fucking cool. And like,
Does
I
it
know, but, you know, like
sling.
when you
Cheers.
find that epic spot,
Yeah.
and you've got that on lock, and you're like, I
Yeah.
reckon I could do this, and you're like, and then like even at Battle of Hastings, like that 180 double bar to backward Smith,
Smith,
thing,
yeah.
like I saw that because I tried my best to stay up late and watch it live, and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
and then like,
yeah.
and I ended up watching because obviously street is I'm not really a street guy, but
Yeah.
I really dig
You look
watching
like a
it.
street guy.
yeah.
Check me out, street as.
Yeah.
Look at all my
Back in the
pegs.
day.
But yeah, but like I saw that and I was like, fuck yeah, that was so like
That was funny.
dude, like and because you throw catch throw or you
Yeah.
kind of guide it,
Yeah.
and it just looks more substantial than just
Yeah.
tossing them and
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, that was funny because this is gonna intertwine with that question. I was there and like, all right, you gotta do a best trick, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I was looking at the park. I was frantic. I was like, I'll just do something on this ledge. Just move there. And then I was just like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I'm just gonna try one double bar back Smith, and it just worked out.
Boom.
First try, and I was just like, no way that happened. It was just the craziest thing, and I think that's just how I try and ride. I think it's just 10 times better. It's just so much more stressful. Like I'll be thinking about a spot I really want to go to the next day, and I want to do this trick, and I'll be driving there. I'll just be like, not stressing, but just thinking about it, and I'll just get annoying. Like I'm sure you hear me complain all the time. It's just I don't know. And it's with Sydney too, because Sydney, you have to drive to that spot and you're thinking about it the whole time, and you're just like, oh, here we go.
In traffic too.
Yeah, yeah, in traffic. Yeah, that's for sure.
Committed to this, it has to happen. That's all the pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it.
That's funny. I remember when you came back from filming that video with Sauce in America. I don't know if you remember this, but you said to me,
I don't know if I want to hear this. I don't want to hear this.
No, it's not that bad. I remember you said that you were like, you probably weren't ever going to film another video part unless you went to the US. I remember being like, oh, my filming career's over.
It does sound like yeah.
I guess.
What do you
just
mean
like-
you don't want to go down the oval at Terry Hills? Come on, man. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Well, I guess like just because you had that crew over there that pushed you to like
It's
do
it's
new
hard to
stuff.
top when you come back to Sydney. Like, here we go. Let's drive to the city. 40 minutes. Just waste a bit of
Just by
bit of
yourself.
fuel. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's that Red Bull edit, the Sydney edit. So did you take those guys around?
Yeah, oh, sorry. I did take those guys around. We just took my car, and I was just like, I'll show you a few spots I know, and they like loved it. It was just such a sick trip. And it was refreshing to see what other people do on the spots that I've been to 1,000 times. Yeah. And I was just like, dude, Sydney's sick.
Yes,
like,
it is.
These guys doing this stuff, and they were hyped too, and they're like, oh, Sydney's amazing. And it was just refreshing.
It's probably the only street BMX set up on Red Bull TV.
Yeah,
You know, it's crazy.
Probably, and especially like having it from Sydney too, and Calvin and I got to feature in it. It was just like, now think about it, it's crazy. Like it's just crazy. So
time. So outside of BMX, you've been creating on some other fronts.
Painting, painting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So painting is pretty much my job. Like
Okay.
it keeps me alive at the moment.
Were you getting paid? You getting paid to paint?
Yeah. So I just do commission work.
Sweet.
If I don't have commission work for a long period of time, I'll paint myself. But it's good now. Like after maybe 2 years of doing small works, like doing paintings like of people's kids or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Typically things that I don't really want to do. I'm finally evolving into things that excite me more. Doing bigger murals, doing bigger paintings for people.
Okay.
It's just it's getting to a point where it's like, oh, I love painting, but I love writing a lot, and
That's a tough
it's just
decision,
like
man.
you have to, because I feel like for you to be good at one thing, you have to really sacrifice, and you have to go really hard at one thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do I need to pay attention more of? What's gonna? But
I reckon you can have two things, man.
Yeah, I think I can have two things, but
You're proving it.
I don't know. I just really want to keep going with writing because it's something that I just like always like.
I mean, pushing it at your level, you're not going to be able to ride like that forever.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Like,
why I'm painting pretty much.
You have to know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that at about 17 years old. It's like,
Yeah.
there's no chance.
Yeah. Yeah. The next 5 years, you just got to really go hard.
Well, yeah. Chase it.
Yeah.
Chase it. So, how did you get into painting?
I did at school. I always had like a little knack for drawing little things and stuff like that, and then picked up a paintbrush and I started painting a little bit. But I was always articulate of what I liked. I didn't really want to mess up anything. And one of my teachers was just like, "Stop being so afraid. Just go pick up a paintbrush and just go crazy." Blah blah blah.
That's a good teacher.
And then I just did it, and I was like, "This is sick." It's probably about year 10, and then I just kept doing it. And a lot of my friends left in year 10, so it was good because I didn't really do much. But in lunch, I just paint. So it was just like, it just evolved, and I just found artists on YouTube. The teachers weren't that amazing for my style, like helping evolve my style. So it was just YouTube.
Sounds like a BMX man.
Yeah, I'd pretty much just taught myself. Well, I didn't really teach myself. I just saw other people doing it, and I just copied it. And now I'm getting to a point where I've copied these artists. Now it's time to evolve my
It's the same with your
work.
writing.
Yeah, so it pretty much just all overlaps.
What do you reckon about art and BMX? I mean, I've always been frustrated with BMX over my whole history of BMX because
Yeah.
skateboarding and art has always had such a tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
I
been sick,
mean,
yeah.
there's more space on a skateboard, right? To put
Yeah,
artwork
exactly,
on,
yeah.
right. You know, so I guess that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Putting art on tubes is frustrating. There's not
Yeah.
that much space.
Yeah.
But I still think there's a huge space for more artwork and more creative
Yeah.
expression, beyond simply film, not simply filming,
No, it's okay.
but somehow combining more artwork into
Yeah,
it. You know?
Benny's actually been doing some crazy like animations for our
wanna
group
see.
videos. Like,
I want to see.
I'll be
this.
like, we'll be going to his house and I'll see this thing on the screen. I'll be like, wait, rewind that, and he'll be like drawing an eye that's been like crushed or a camera being crushed. And it's just like, it's just sick. But
I mean,
BMX is hard because
we know we've got amazing writing, we know
Yeah.
there's going to be bullshit good writing and
Yeah.
amazing good clips.
Yeah.
If we can somehow make art come into
Yeah.
that as well, it's going to be a crazy time.
I think it's a hard thing with art and BMX is because people love simplicity.
Yeah.
Like for me, I really like a simple bike.
But that's
It's-
just what we're growing up on.
yeah.
Maybe
It's
that's it.
I like. I don't know. I don't like many colors or.
You don't want a gyro, man?
Nah, no gyro. But I don't know. It's I always thought about if I design a signature product, like what would I do? I wouldn't really want to put my artwork on there because it's just I'm not too sure.
Why not?
Like I don't know. I think it's almost sort of tacky, like putting my spin on a colorful sort of frame. It's not sort of what I like.
You looking to exhibit?
I'd love to exhibit. I'd love to do
Make it happen.
like my own shows and stuff like that. But,
Hell yeah.
You got to set aside a lot of time, and it's also such a large investment putting all your money into paints, canvases, your
Yeah.
time. So I think maybe it'd be next year or even the year after where I'd really go in for it once.
I think you could sell it all out. I reckon you'd sell it all on the night, on your opening night, and you do it
Hopefully.
a couple times a year.
Appreciate
You'd be rocking it. you know?
I don't know. Hopefully,
sick.
it'd be really cool, and then, like even get Benny filming my art videos or
That'd be cool.
something like that. I'd love to do.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. keep it
Creative
going.
process. I mean, I've always figured there's a massive link between, okay, we wake up in the morning, we get on a bike, we go ride something, we go get our heads around stuff. It's problem solving, it's creative action. We do something on the
Yeah.
spot. We reinterpret the landscape. You know, it's art. So,
Yeah.
so that creative process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a big thing. Whether we're filming, we're painting, we're writing,
Yeah.
sculpting, whatever it is. Like it's innate in our system as a writer.
I think that's
you
what
know?
all draws us together. So it's just such a BMX is such a creative place. Really, I'm sure if I didn't ride or have that outlook on certain things, I don't think my art would have evolved to it what it is. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess your writings helped give you opportunities for art. Like you got
Yeah.
to paint the stuff at Vans.
Yeah, exactly like that. Like
Yeah, right. I didn't know that.
Just like connections with writing has just helped. Like I think the other month I did artwork in Waterloo because one of the Vans TMs in Melbourne knew the person in this office, and they're like, it just word of mouth and just these connections through BMX is just evolving into a great thing for me. So cheers BMX.
Yeah.
I guess, and you've got like a separate Instagram page for your art stuff.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I pretty much want to do a lot more with it, but I don't know, it's just so hard with time, and paintings take either 2 days or bloody a month. So it's hard to keep the consistency up. But yeah,
Well, I feel like, I don't know, if you were putting yourself out there a bit, I mean, looking at your stuff, I mean, a lot of your subjects, like you've got a lot of musicians and stuff
yeah,
like
a lot
that,
of famous people,
which is like fucking rad. The cool thing about that is it appeals to a very broad.
yeah.
So I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, you could definitely get a lot of people stoked.
Yeah, I'd
And,
love to
yeah,
do just famous people, like huge ones, and I don't even know, like just businesses and stuff like that. That's what gets me hyped. Just big paintings of just expressive colors just everywhere. I think it makes a place look a little.
Yeah, I dig it, man. The color,
Thank
like
you,
the
dude.
whole your take on it, like the colors you use and everything. It's just
Cheers.
it's
Thank you. Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Thank you.
I wish I could paint and make art, but
You could do it.
I can't.
I feel like anyone could do it. It's pretty
I
fun.
don't know, man.
It's frustrating at times.
Anyone could, but you got to do it.
Yeah, true.
That's the thing.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. So X Games is dropping in
Yeah.
Sydney, your hometown.
Yeah, that
You've
was
got an
crazy.
invite.
Yeah, when I got that invite, it was pretty. Actually, no, it wasn't. It wasn't like it was like, damn, I'm in this. Like this is crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Like, grow up watching X Games. always watching the recaps on YouTube of the street, like constantly watching it, rewatching it.
We're still doing Real Street, Sydney.
Oh, I
That
know. It would have
amazing,
been
right?
sick.
It would
I
have been
know.
amazing.
Yeah,
Shut
well.
everyone down with this spot choice, right?
Come on.
Dude, soon enough.
Hook
there'll
Betty
be-
and I up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
That's
right.
actually another goal of ours is hopefully one day do a real street part together and like we've
Maybe we should do an Australian version of it.
I mean that's what I said. I said if I wanted
do
to
it.
do it, I wanted all Sydney
Yeah.
spots.
That would be
I
sick.
don't know about
And
now.
I had a 2020 project which was going to be that. It's like a crew from each state
Yeah.
would have a week to film,
Yeah.
and we put it all together into a
That's sick.
That'd
So it's
be
like
sick.
Battle of the Territories, whatever.
pretty much state of origin or some weird.
Yeah.
We could you could even crisscross and go. So Sydney team goes to Adelaide.
Yeah.
Adelaide team
Yeah.
goes to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne
See what
team
they
goes
do.
to Brisbane.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's part of the whole.
I never knew that
process is
spot
the
existed,
search.
man.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got the search of new
Yeah.
spots. You don't know each other's
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like this whole. I mean, I think actually Zave had an idea for a video series
Yes.
a
yeah,
while
I mean,
ago
That's where this all.
of getting and it was more gonna be shop based. So like.
The
Lux
shop one.
dudes would come to Sydney. Hell on
That's
Wheels
it.
dudes would go to Melbourne. Anchor dudes would go to
Yeah.
Adelaide. Little Black Bike dudes would go to Brisbane. You know, like,
cool.
That'd be sick because
That would be
bring
cool.
everyone together.
And like there's still so many good riders coming out of each and every one of those shops. So it's still doable.
totally, man.
Yeah. Be cool
stuff.
as. But yeah.
Yeah, man.
X Games will be crazy. Like especially having all the riders here. Like you just like for me thinking about it when I was just started riding, like having them here, it's just like I just couldn't imagine it. And now it's happening. It's just like far out. Like it's happening. It's
And it's
crazy.
the real X Games. Unlike when I was probably your age, we had the Planet X X Games, which was a watered down, slightly shit version of
Was
the
it
X
alright?
Games. I mean,
They were cool comps. you
like
know.
if you went to a comp and you're like, holy shit, Dave Asato's here.
Yeah.
Or like, holy shit, Alan Cook's riding dirt. Like Fuzzy was riding dirt at one of them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's right.
and it was actually in the same. The last one was in the same.
Taj came out, man.
Taj came out for the first one, yeah.
Far out.
And the last one, sorry, was in the same building that the one that you're going to is in.
What, the spotless one?
The Homebush. The,
Yeah.
so
Saltless Stadium.
Yeah, that's crazy.
that building's changed names 700,000
Yeah,
times
it
since
does.
then.
You
So
know, I rode a comp out at Homebush in the 90s, man, when they were building the stadium. There was a quarter pipe and flat.
in the stadium, or was it the?
No, in the basketball courts behind where Monster is.
And that was
Oh,
yeah, no
that's
shit.
sick.
Keeping the tradition
And it was
going.
just like
Homebush.
and next door to it, like so it's a big ass basketball or stadium, thing. But it's just all that.
That's where the
polished
Sydney Flames
wood
played, wasn't it?
floor. But then you went through the doors, the double doors, and then there was a gymnastics huge room, and they had 2 foam pits. But they were floor-based foam
Like-
pits, so you'd run along and jump into it. So we were just sprinting our bikes along, just launching.
No ramp.
Just ramps. There wasn't any ramps.
It's all about that pop, baby.
There was one
That's
quarter
sick.
pipe at that comp, dude. One huge 10-foot quarter pipe. And that's
Yeah, I've
it.
seen heaps of mags. It's like back in the day, it's just one quarter
Just
pipe.
ride at a quarter pipe.
And then, but there's a huge crowd though, just
And
looking
the
at
quarter
it.
pipe's like this
Yeah.
wide.
8 by 8 foot.
Dudes would
Yeah.
miss it, man.
I can imagine.
Hang up.
Coming in, 540s just off the side.
Yeah, I can't imagine starting riding in that era. I
hell.
don't think I'd be doing very good.
Different world, man.
Yeah.
Different world.
Sick though.
Yeah. So the whole crew from Fiend are coming out, do you know?
I know Garrett is, but I don't know about the whole crew. But I'm sure. I think December we're all linking up again to go film in San Diego to try and wrap up the video. So
SD is pretty fun, man. There's hills there, so that's good stuff.
it's sick. SD, it's probably my favorite part of America so far. It's just like a laid back. It's almost like a Sydney vibe. It's just everything, like the architecture and everything's different, but it's laid back. It's near the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I like San
It's laid
Diego.
back.
If I was to live in America, that would be. Yeah, it's
It's a good spot for sure.
yeah.
You gonna try get over as well, Ben? Or
I mean, hopefully, but I don't want to be like intruding
you'd be intruding.
with. If they're on a fiend trip, like I don't want to just be
Nah,
like
you can kick it.
tagging
Yeah,
along,
you
you
can
know.
kick it.
Like I feel like if I went and I don't know, like because you'd have Tony there filming. Like if we went like separately or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it just depends on how it all plan out.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to get like just like an individual trip with us.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
That's
I
the way
mean,
to do
I
it.
still feel like most comfortable with Ben. Like even still with Tony, because I'll be like to Ben, I'll be like, nah, that's it. Man. I don't like the angle. I don't like the angle. I could never build up the courage to say that to Tony.
probably should.
Nah,
Tony's
never.
angles are probably
Tony's
fire.
angles are amazing. I'm not saying Ben's
Only
are
because
bad,
he's
but-
got the century depth
but-
lens on, man.
but
That's
I'd
the
just
only
be like-
reason. You don't need an angle. Just
but-
put the camera there.
like even just
Sorry.
like the way I act around Ben and stuff, it's just so comfortable.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, why the fuck did you film it like that? Like I imagine if I said that to Tony, I'd be kicked off. So I don't know. I like just being just comfortable around him and just I don't know. We can feed off each other too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man.
That's when you can create such awesome stuff. I mean, like,
yeah.
I feel like, you know, your relationship with one another is the older you guys get and the more, I guess, in tune with each other you get, which is already quite evident. But the more and more you do, it's just going to get better and better, which is
Yeah, I hope so.
pretty exciting, man. I'm
is.
stoked to start seeing
is.
stuff.
Thank you.
Like,
That's what gets me excited. Is just like our relationship just keeps going, and we just have more opportunities to work on
Yeah.
projects. And that's
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's good because like Louis will have ideas, I'll have ideas, and we're both just down to do it.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah.
Like down to try whatever.
yeah,
We live close, so we can do it. It's like convenient kind of thing.
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys are putting out of this next
Cheers.
year. too.
Cheers. We actually have a few videos.
Yeah,
What, ready to drop?
Betty's taking his time.
Ready to drop?
I am.
sitting on some footage.
Nah, we're sitting
Yeah.
on some footage, but he's making it really good. He's doing like all the animation stuff, which takes
I
time.
hope it's good, but it is taking a while.
Because we always the thing that keeps it fresh with us is still filming with the original people we ride with. So we always be working on group videos and
Yeah.
That's how it all started, yeah?
yeah. So that's what I would just
That's true.
like to keep that going. Like we have a friend Jordan that's been riding with us the whole time, and he always films clips with us. And it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, he's got a bunch of sick clips.
yeah. So just like
That's
working
fun.
on projects.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
fun.
yeah, after X Games, everyone's going to be like, you're going to be blowing up. Everyone's going to be like, dude,
Oh, I don't know.
like little kids gonna be like, I saw this guy Lewis Mills and he's from Sydney, and like
I'll have to wear the Swannies jersey again.
dude, and like
should, dude.
you're gonna
Yeah.
be flying
Vince
the
Barnes
flag.
going to be running high vis. You know,
Oh,
he's running the
true.
Swannies, man.
Oh, Vince Barnes is hilarious.
He's killing
Every
it.
time I turn on X Games,
He's
and I
killing
see-
it.
I'll be like, who the fuck's wearing a high vis? And I'll be like, Vince Barnes.
Of course-
And I'll
of
be
course
like,
it's Vince.
He's a
"This
funny
is
dude,
sick."
man. He's a funny dude.
Oh my gosh.
But I
yeah.
guess
Sydney's
on an
X
inter-
Games would be crazy.
on an international stage though, like we haven't had a lot of people at that level from Sydney. Like a lot of you guys who have quote unquote made it in BMX from Australia. A lot of them, most of them are from Queensland,
Yeah.
and
Melbourne.
especially some from Melbourne, and then
Yeah.
obviously Leezy from Adelaide.
Adelaide.
He's not from Adelaide. He's from way north Adelaide.
Is he? I don't know the geography, dude.
Perth guys, Calvin.
Oh yeah, Calvin's from WA, but I
Yeah.
mean, like Sydney-wise, I mean, since I guess Mike Daly back, he was riding X Games back in late '90s, early 2000s
In Park, yeah.
in park stuff,
Yeah.
for sure. But like, I mean,
San Fran. Yeah.
it's kind of rad that like, I was looking at the Vans Pro Cup finals in Malaga. We had 5 Aussies in the finals,
Crazy.
and all from Queensland.
True.
Like
True.
I mean, we had a few that didn't make the cut, but that, again, one from Queensland, one from WA,
Yeah.
one from New South Wales. But
Parslow, Fink, Melbourne.
yeah, actually, I think, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is with what Sydney not producing as many riders. I feel like it has to do with the surf, what you're saying, surf rugby culture,
Yeah.
tradie culture, if you know what I mean. It was
Yeah.
just like a set path for everyone, and it's sort of different for us to keep riding.
Yeah.
I always felt like it was really odd, and it was something that I didn't want to talk about, that I still rode BMX at a certain period, maybe like a couple years
You were meant
ago.
to have a car, weren't you?
Yeah, I was like a car, university, or a trade.
Yeah.
Like it was those two things, and I was just like,
Also, I guess,
I'm,
I mean,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not ticking those boxes. Yeah.
also, I guess, I mean, aside from that stigma that you're viewed to fall into a certain category, like you'd be the tradie or your
Yeah.
footy guy,
yeah,
but geographically and I guess effort-wise,
yeah,
to be a street rider looking for spots and doing what you guys are
Yeah.
doing, it's effort.
it is
Like,
effort.
Sydney
it is
has
effort.
the most people, the most
geographically
traffic,
challenged, man.
and you've got large bodies of water in the way. It's not
Yeah.
as, like you look at a map of Melbourne, look at that nice grid. Everything's easy.
Yeah,
Look at Sydney, like,
yeah.
oh shit, what a mess.
And
so-
also, it's to do with where we live. The public transport, getting to the city, getting to the outer suburbs, is impossible.
You can't with a bike.
because
Yeah.
you can't take a bike on a bus, and the nearest train station is Gordon.
It's like
20
you can't
minutes.
ride
Chatswood.
there.
20
Yeah.
minutes.
Roseville, yeah.
And it's just like, well, fuck, we're stuck in our suburb, and I think that's what really put a little
Yeah.
black hole on it.
I'm blown out. You guys came this far riding, man.
Yeah, I'm blown away
really
too. I think
Well, lucky people's parents, like your parents,
Yeah,
Jordan's
definitely. My parents
parents
would drive us to Monster all the time, or spots.
drop us to train stations, then pick
Shout
us
out to
back
the
up.
parents, man.
Yeah.
Can you take me to that
Unreal.
double set and that double king rail and I need to go to this wall?
Yeah, you can definitely tell by the end of it, Mum was getting sick of the old Monster trips.
Probably.
Alice,
Like,
Bush,
everywhere.
Everyone's sick of driving a monster.
I mean, when I was that age, it was Padstow to Vertex.
Yeah.
And like my dad going, you want to go to Vertex again on a Sunday night? Like 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, I'm
Definitely
finished.
Sunday
Like,
night,
yeah, like that
They
was,
were definitely sick of it by the end of it. Thank God we got our licenses, because.
That's right.
dude.
But that's also another thing too. When people get their license here, it seems like they fizzle out of riding and.
Man, from years of making 2020, I met some of the most talented crew on bikes in my life
Yeah.
that would make McKay, Gutler, Bowen, McCann, everyone look like, 10th place getters at a con.
Yeah.
But they would hit 18. Yeah, they get their license, girlfriend, start drinking,
Yeah.
get a job,
Yeah.
and it just culls. It culls
Yeah.
the crew out.
Yeah.
So the crew that keep riding at, 19, 20, 21 are like, well, I think they're pretty dedicated to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they keep going, they're probably going to go somewhere pretty far.
Yeah, it sucks because we lose some of our good friends
Yep.
that we see all the time,
Yeah.
and we love riding with them.
So
to,
many.
I don't know, other interests and stuff like that, which is sick, but
Yeah.
it's great from.
Yeah. I feel like you were kind of the
I was-
glue that kept it. You were always trying to get
Well,
everyone hyped.
I was just wanting everyone to come out. Like, even back in the day, like looking at it now, like I was even forceful for them to get a clip. I was like, come on, go get a clip. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like
That's
a
it.
dad.
Yeah.
But I probably standing
All right.
away from it.
All right, Coach Lou, I'll go get a fucking
right.
It was definitely like a Wrigley sort of deal, but I was just like, I get more stoked on if people do sick
You need
shit,
everyone to come up.
and I'm just like, I'd always want like Reese or Jordan
Yeah.
or
Like
someone to
Scott.
do like some crazy clip, and I'd just be like, yes, like I just love that. Even going on a trip with Fiend now is sick because I see Johnny and Minnie and Garrett doing these clips, and it's just so, it's just amazing.
It's inspiration. isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. It's just, I'm always like looking for that
That's a drug.
light, that spark to keep going and try some new
being
stuff.
around such a level, like such an elite
Yeah.
level of just
Yeah,
skill and talent, I
yeah.
guess it's infectious, I guess.
yeah, definitely.
And the fact that you've been able to be exposed to that at quite a young age has been,
yeah.
I mean, we've seen your progression has been quite rapid, I feel like, in the last sort of couple of years. You've
Both
really
you
gone
guys.
from like, you're
Yeah.
this legendary cool kid who can shred to like, holy fuck, have you seen that Lewis Mills guy ride? Like, I mean,
Thank you.
I saw you double tie ride down fucking
Boom.
Taramara rail, dude.
Oh,
That
Taramara.
clip.
That's
I don't know if you guys realize how much a legendary spot that is. Like,
Yeah.
that's been in a lot of, like,
Yeah.
I first saw people double peg that in like 98, 99.
Double peg.
Far
it.
out.
That's
Well,
nothing.
Dude,
Yeah.
the top,
Double
the
tire.
top's gone. The tops, the welds are gone.
Yeah,
so it's
right.
an old rail, but
It's
like
super wobbly.
like Chris White would take us there.
Do you just let your tires down for it or what?
And spray adhesive on the
Terry-
fucking.
Yeah. Terry showed it to Chris White.
Did Terry show it to Chris White?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Well, it's funny
Terry's a
because
street dog.
we'd go there, and the first time we were there, we're like, oh my god, this is a spot. Like the rail's like this big, and I'd be like, what's done? And Chris would just be like, for 2 minutes, going, overpegs, crook, blah blah blah.
No one
blah, blah,
smithed it?
blah 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 blah. No one smithed
No,
it.
it's missed it.
we were trying to get Jordan to do it, were we?
We could probably go try it.
Marta Smith.
Locking in on a Smith.
That, I just learnt that, so
Yeah.
we could try it.
Boom.
But that rail was like a benchmark. So I remember like it was like okay, such and such has done it. And then I remember when John Young did it, when we were filming for our
Shout out
the
to John
Emancipate
Young.
video,
Shout out to
the
John
Man
Young.
Planet Lens,
Yeah.
and we were just like, John did the Taramara rail. Like, that's the shit we've seen in
Dude,
video.
that's
We've
funny
seen
because-
pros do that in videos.
Yeah, that's
like,
funny because like I got my friend Reese to do it, and
Yeah.
like we'd be saying on the group chat, Reese did the Taramara rail today, and everyone would just be stoked. It's just
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
sick.
it's long and it's
Dude, it's
down
like
a lot of steps.
the
dude.
most sick setup. Like it's mellow, it's low, it's got grass on the side. The stairs are pretty deadly if you roll down them. I got killed.
Oh, you
heaps of
You
times.
ate shit a lot.
Yeah, going down those, but it's just like
They got the ledge spot there too. You can warm up.
oh yeah, there's a new ledge spot too. They like built these wooden ledges, and that spot's. I mean, that school's like a
Pretty
sick
sick. Yeah.
place. So yeah, the Taramara rail.
Dude, yeah.
Shout out to the Taramara
Legendary
rail.
spot.
It is a legendary spot. I didn't
Yeah.
know it had that much history.
Oh, dude, yeah. I remember Crazy Ian. Any of you guys remember Crazy Ian?
Racing rally cars.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Mechanic for Mitsubishi, was it? Or
Yeah.
something? Anyway, him bailing off the end of it. And this is, back then, wearing ginormous hard cap knee pads while riding street. No helmet, hard cap knee
You
pads.
start pedaling, it's
That's
like
commonplace.
Chink, 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 clicking plastic on your knees. Chink,
Yeah,
chink, chink, chink.
The look.
Smashing your hard cap knee pads on the knee saver bars.
You
on the
catch
bottom
on
of
the
your-
gyro and you rip the plastic cap off, man.
And just knee
So
slide
it
out
sounds
of
like
it.
a trap.
But it's incredible. I remember watching that clip and I was like, I mean, double tire riding on any rail is fucked up. And when Liam
a scary
Fairhampton,
trick.
when Liam
Straight
Fairhampton started doing it a few, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever it was.
yeah,
How are these people doing this?
yeah,
It's
it's
ridiculous.
crazy.
And
That was,
then, on a flat rail is one thing, but down, that's how many steps is Taramara?
I think it's 18.
18.
Yeah, it's
And
18.
they're long steps. They're not
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
elongated. So it's probably
But
25.
it's not
regular
that.
steps.
Now that I think about it, it's not gnarly at all because it's got the grass on the side.
You think about how long your bike is and how long you'll be on it. Everything starts coming into perspective. Not that I'm going to go do it or anything, but
Yeah,
Go
it's
on,
like but the only thing that was tripping me out was the poles. You know how back then they didn't have the poles. They have big
There's
gigantic poles in the
two
way.
poles like a meter
So
before the
you got to
rail.
pick
At the
either.
start,
we
okay.
used to have
Yeah.
narrow bars. So,
Oh, really?
it's different.
Yeah, I have
you
wide
know?
bars.
Exactly.
So I'm either thinking,
changed.
do I go on the inside and have to go, or do I just cut in from this angle and
It's hard to line it up straight.
Yeah, it's hard to line it up now. It's hard to ride. I wish we should probably cut out those poles.
We say it every time. Man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mission though.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Milwaukee Tools. We could probably get some, back
Yeah, sponsor us. Send us some tools.
Yeah, for
Chop
real.
that shit out.
Yeah, exactly. We got some good clips
Real
for you
spot.
guys.
That's it.
You can, maybe you can, 180 double bars to fakey crooks it.
I doubt it. Doubt it.
So you do that stuff.
Dream
All
chick.
good, man. All good.
But, I guess it might be a good place to sort of start wrapping her up.
Too easy.
You guys, either of you guys, Ben, you got anyone you want to kind of thank?
Oh, thank you, Lewis.
OG
Straight
man.
up.
There's a lot of love.
Thank you, Terry. Terry fucking hooks it up with the volume demolition trips.
Yeah.
Totally,
And
man.
Everyone else who lets me film them, I guess. Jacman, Boyd, anyone.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Heim, everyone
Yeah.
helping me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you, Lewis. So you can shout out.
Cheers, Benny.
No
Cheers,
worries.
Benny. Thank you, Terry. Terry's done a lot for me. I'd like to thank Terry, Mum, for driving me to the skate park all
Yeah,
the time.
Mum Spano.
I don't know, Fiend, Clark, Garrett, Tony, the man. Paul Robinson. Paul Robinson actually did a lot for me this year. A Clat TM, like he would got me invited on my first trip, like a Clat
that
trip.
Kansas one?
The Kansas one.
And you got the ender in that.
Yeah, I didn't think I
did?
deserved the ender, but
Dude.
yeah.
That I mean, the ender was fucking killer, but
Nah,
I really liked the up kink to hard 3 out.
Yeah, that was my
that
my
was
favorite
tough,
of mine.
dude. That was
Yeah,
fucking
it was
rad.
hard because the car park was like bloody like this, so it was so hard to get speed. But yeah, Paul Robinson's done a lot for me this year. I want to thank him and far out the boys. Thanks for keeping me riding.
yeah, dude.
I don't know. Cheers, Terry Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
the
we
oval.
started.
The oval.
The oval jumps.
Shout out to the Oval. I don't know. Sorry if I missed anyone. So yeah.
Keep on keeping on. I can't wait.
Thanks,
to see,
boys. Thanks for having us
All right,
on.
yeah.
see
Thank
what
you.
you
Thanks
guys
for coming,
create in the
man.
next,
This
in
is
the next
sick.
years
Cheers,
to come,
boys.
man.
Yeah, this is
Welcome
you.
back anytime, you guys. Like, for sure.
maybe in a year or so. Check up on us. See how
After
we're
you've
going.
released your signature frame promo for Fiend,
Oh.
maybe if that ever happens,
Maybe one day.
it's coming. I can
Maybe
feel
one
it.
day.
I can feel it.
Hopefully, that'd be
Yeah.
a dream come true.
And good luck at the X Games, dude.
Thank you. Cheers, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Right, wrapping her up.
Peace out.